So, I think it's fair to say that not everyone agreed with me saying that Black Flag aged badly. I mean, Jay roasted me with a well-worded, productive counter-argument. My boy Victor reported me for having a bad opinion. Prepare Uranus, for some unknown and bizarre reason, gave us a breakdown of nearly the entire Assassin's Creed series that didn't really contribute much to the original content statement. Even White Light himself hit me with the bruh. But can we all at least agree that Assassin's Creed 2 has aged about as gracefully as a reversing dump truck without any tyres on? Alright, and that's my come down with me reference allowance used up for this video. Because the modern day in early Assassin's Creed games is actually important and doesn't put me to sleep quicker than a chloroform soaked rag, I won't cut it out from this video. We play as Desmond, who basically just lays there in the Animus and does absolutely nothing, nor is he actually an interesting character. Fuck, so these modern day segments are just as pointless. Lucy is the name of the girl who looks like she had to use her t-shirt as an emergency tampon, and she's clearly the alpha here as she firmly instructs us to get in the Animus. It's important we do this quick, so naturally I cut down my leisure time by half, leaving me with just 5 minutes to explore the room. Can you believe the sacrifices I have to make for this girl? Anyway, we do eventually get in the Animus, and what do you know, the first thing we see when we get in is a vagina. Oh yes, we've taken control of someone who is clearly a stud. Oh no wait, we're literally reliving being born. What a traumatizing experience. How do they expect me to have a strong bond with this mother if I can vividly remember being birthed from the inside out? We're finally out and my dad's holding me, so now I've got to let them know I'm alive by kicking my legs. But before that, I decide to play a great little practical joke on my parents and pretend to be a stillbirth. Ha, nothing like a great little bit of banter with the family.
And what shall we call him, my love?
Ezio. Ezio Auditori da Firenze.
Wow, what a moment. The iconic name is given to me, but unfortunately I'm pulled out of the Animus just as I was about to get breastfed. Hopefully the Animus is like a game and we can just resume from that part a bit later on in my spare time. For now though, we've got to escape from the Abstergo facility for a reason that Lucy isn't telling us. Ah, women. Sometimes they just really enjoy to be all secretive and not tell you about certain things. Like my girlfriend, who recently got a restraining order from me, but won't tell me why. She's really trying to play the long game here. Not to mention that trying to talk to her while we're 50 feet apart also makes it extremely hard to communicate. So, without a doubt, this relationship is going to hit a bumpy road at some point in the near future. In our attempt to escape the Abstergo facility, I stand uncomfortably close to Lucy and stare into her eyes without blinking once, because a study conducted in 1989 assures that simple eye contact can make a person fall in love with you. You're welcome, by the way, for that tip. Use it carefully. We step out the elevator, with Lucy seemingly not quite in love with us just yet, and find ourselves in a car park with about 20 Abstergo guards trying to fight us, so I decide to leave this one to Lucy. She's not telling me where we're going, so I'm not going to help her in a possible life-threatening situation where she could be beaten to death. Lucy, however, beasts the situation because she's a strong woman that doesn't need a man's help. What an inspiration. She then locks us in a car boot and kidnaps us. Yes, queen, usually the roles are reversed here, but Lucy stays being the role model to other women around the world. Don't let anyone tell you, because of your gender, you can't kidnap too. We arrive at a giant warehouse, where Lucy explains to us that she valiantly broke us out of Abstergo, a place where I was being used as an Animus guinea pig, to also use me as her Animus guinea pig. Brilliant. So yeah, Desmond is being used more than a college freshman at a frat party. We meet the crew and it's got all of the stereotypes. The moody British guy that's cold and overbearingly sarcastic, the quirky tomboy who doesn't take off her headphones and only wears one glove because Jeff Hardy was her biggest childhood inspiration, the fit one, and me, Desmond, the nobody who turns out to be the key to everything. We hop on in the Animus and here we are, Fiorentina, 1476. At first, I'm confused. Are we playing an Assassin's Creed game, or are we watching Romeo and Juliet? However, when Ezio says,
"Your sister seemed quite satisfied with the handling I gave her earlier,"
that's it. This group of well-choreographed dancers are now throwing hands. The fight is actually way more violent than their dress sense would let on. I mean, I'm literally punching people's throats and folding them like deck chairs. A few moments later, my brother comes to stop us because he's worried as I've got a split lip. But mate, have you not seen these young Italian lads laying on the floor who have sustained life-changing injuries and may never be able to walk or function at 100% ever again? A split lip is the furthest thing from a problem here. Ah well, who cares I guess. Good thing I've got an older sibling who looks after me and is ready to take me to a doctor whenever I sustain a small injury. At least I thought my brother was responsible, but mere seconds after seeing the doctor, he challenges me to a parkour race to the top of a church, arguably more dangerous than simply fighting a few Italian bums. I mean, 15th century architecture may have looked pretty, but there was most definitely not the same health and safety precautions when it comes to how stable the buildings were. When we make it to the top, he is also totally fine with us swanton bombing it 50 feet down into a thin layer of hay. I mean, yeah, fair enough, I may not be the model example of an older brother, because I let my younger sibling go swimming without any armbands on, which caused him to drown, and now there's an irreparable void in the entire family, but I'd like to think that Ezio's brother could do a slightly better job at looking after his younger sibling than he is right now. The day was nearly over, so it was time to cap it off by getting laid. I fail all of the QuickTime events because I was told to never be quick in the bedroom. So remember fellas, if you're undressing someone and you get prompted to press the X button, don't give in. Don't do the QuickTime event. We're playing for the long time events. In the morning, Christina's dad is furious and kicks us out. It's also safe to say, because this is the 15th century, Christina will most likely receive the wrath of her father's belt. We arrive back home, and my father's talking to his friend Uberto, who looks like the fat conductor's Italian ancestor from Thomas the Tank Engine. They had some
business
to take care of, so it was time for Ezio to be a family man. I helped out my younger brother, or sister, I honestly can't tell what gender they are. I would just say non-binary, but I don't think that term existed in 1476. For some reason, he or she wanted some bird feathers, which may not be the wisest decision. Bird feathers can carry diseases, and a common cold could be fatal during this time period. Maybe this is my job as an older brother, to educate them on why this might not be a good decision. Or I could just do the convenient thing and go and grab the bird feathers, which is exactly what I did. Once I had retrieved them, I also found out my favourite feature about this game, when Ezio will plummet from a 20-foot roof and just use a random civilian to break his fall. No wonder he's everyone's favourite AC protagonist. This man just doesn't give a shit. Our other sibling Claudia, whose gender I could actually identify, was also having some issues, because her boyfriend Duccio had been cheating on her. So I paid him a little visit, and perhaps was dealing with some other innermost demons here, because I caved his head in with a knee and proceeded to boot him in the bollocks 3 times over. Rather than deal with those issues head on, I just decided to suppress them once again and help out my mother, who needed some help picking up some paintings from Leonardo da Vinci himself. With all the family errands done, it was time to head home and raw dog my sister Claudia now that she's single. I mean, see what mum's cooking up for dinner and hope that Claudia is stuck in the washing machine. I mean, go to bed and fap. I walk through the front door and get smashed in my mid-rib area with a vase. So yeah, not the ideal start to the evening I had in mind.
What happened? Where is everyone?
They took your father and brother to the Palazzo della Signoria, to prison.
And my mother? My sister?
Ezio.
Claudia.
I guess that hug will have to do as fap material for later, but now we have more pressing matters like seeing my dad in prison. Did you know that going to see a close family member in prison at a young age gives you a 76.8% increased chance of going to prison yourself? Wow, that's wild, because that's also the same percentage of people who watch my videos but aren't subscribed. It's a bit of an unconventional prison visit with my dad, but I attempt to lighten the mood by reminding him not to drop the soap. He, however, doesn't find this amusing, and I know his whole world has just been flipped upside down, but can't you at least just appreciate a little bit of light-hearted banter? Anyway, he tells me that there's a hidden door in his office, and in there lies a chest. We must take all of the contents inside. So we head back, find this hidden room, and it's pretty gangster to know that your dad is an architectural mastermind, but surely you would have questioned him before on what this part of the house is that sticks out like a sore thumb. Inside the chest is an edgy outfit, a sword and hidden blade, and also a letter to deliver to the fat conductor's Italian ancestor. So we go straight to his house, and he doesn't even compliment my new look, which is pretty rude, but he lets us know that he'll take care of this whole prison situation in the morning. So I get a great night's skip, have a lovely morning by feeding the local ducks at the park, and also getting some parkour time on the rooftops of Fiorentina, while taking life-threatening risks like jumping off 50-foot buildings into suspiciously small piles of rose petals. But my morning is ruined when I realise that there's a decent bit of commotion going on downtown, so I go and check it out. And well, when I get there, let's just say it's not ideal. Mr. Fat Conductor is up on this stage, with my 3 brothers about to be hung. I mean, at least we identified the gender of my youngest sibling, which, you know, is great because now I know what kind of birthday card to get him.
Yours in return, I swear! We will! Father!
Oh, well, looks like I'm not gonna have to worry about birthday cards anymore. We were betrayed by Mr. Italian Fat Conductor himself. The beginning of the Ezio Auditore story is getting revenge for his family. So if you would like to see me get some revenge, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see more of AC2. Thank you for all the support, guys, it really does mean the world to me, and an extra thank you, as always, to those of you who have clicked the join button and become a member of the channel. It really does mean a lot, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye. I would like to give a huge shout out, as always, to my motherload Voiy Boys and above, Gerardo Cruz, Björn van den Hatter, Charlie Waldock, Voiy is gay. Thank you guys for your support.